at the core of the philosophy, whether you talk to Rebecca School, CTC, or some of the others, Oak Hill School and some of the others in the nation, is respecting that child. And we talked about that last time too, about that unconditional positive regard for the child. Can you imagine what it's like for a child to come into an environment like this, never having been here before, and finding out that they didn't have a whole lot of control? Told where to sit, what to do, when to do it, whether they like to do it, whether they knew how to do it. Would you like to have that? If you feel loved, do you feel more commitment to participating in something your loved one wants you to do? Mm-hmm. You're more invested in it? There you go. That's how you build motivation with these children. There is an argument in psychology. Is the mind the brain or is it not? Behaviorists say the mind is the brain. What you see is what you get. And that tends to put a ceiling on our expectations and our understandings. It's a presumed incompetence kind of stance. I believe just the opposite. I've had many experiences clinically and personally demonstrating the mind is not the brain. Can I explain that? Not without stepping into religion. But the mind is not the brain. We never presume incompetence. In fact, many of the children who've been treated under DIR model, as they emerge through and improve on their ability to communicate with the world, tell us that when they were much younger and could not communicate, they still understood, absorbed, and oftentimes felt hurt because of things that were said about him with that presumed incompetence view. These children are highly intelligent, capable people. And if a child can't express that now, it doesn't mean that they aren't. It just means they can't express it. So even for a child who is unable to talk, unable to gesture at this point, that's just the brain that's having a hard time doing what the mind wants it to do. And we should never, ever presume there's nothing inside. Oftentimes we can be amazed, and we are amazed, at what comes forth when we resolve those problems. I want parents to understand that it's not a doom and gloom. It's a hope. We have so many new ways to be able to address autism spectrum disorders. I have a son who was 10 years old when he was diagnosed with Asperger's. And I was pretty scared when I got that diagnosis because it was presented to me to be a combination of just about everything a kid could have. It didn't make me feel very hopeful. But through the research I've done and the studying and so forth, I've come to understand the methods to use. Now my son has improved to the point that a couple of years ago he decided he was going to join the Navy. Normally, a diagnosis of Asperger's disorder would disqualify him, but he didn't say anything to his recruiter, and they didn't pick anything up. And of course, when he was in boot camp, there came that come clean moment where they asked him if there's anything in his history that would make him ineligible to serve. He told them he had the diagnosis of Asperger's. Rather shocked, they sent him over to behavioral health. After an hour with that psychologist, he said the only thing that he could see in my son that was left over was that he didn't keep conversations going as easily as other people did. The Navy then said he qualifies. So as a result, my son now is a graduate of the Navy's nuclear engineering program and is doing well. He's an ET3 in the Navy. And he's not diagnosable anymore. I call that progress and evidence of the hope we all should have for our children who are on the spectrum.
1 out of 88 kids are affected with autism every year in the United States. Autism sounds like a scary word, but with the proper education, information, resources, and medical personnel, you could get the attention and the services for your children that you need. This is Sonia Lee Firstel with ABC 50.